So, today, we're going to take a peek into the very near future of cybersecurity. And look, we're talking about a future where a hacker can clone your CEO's voice with just a tiny audio clip. But, and this is the important part, we're not just here to scare you. We're here to break down a real, concrete action plan to get you ahead of these threats. So let's jump right in.
Seriously, just stop for a second and think about this scenario. Imagine an urgent call comes into your finance team. The voice on the other end? It's your boss. And it's not just close, it's perfect. Down to their exact tone, their cadence, the way they phrase things, they sound stressed, the request is time-sensitive. What do you think happens next?
You know, this isn't some far-off science fiction plot anymore. It's real. Because of generative AI, the tools to do this, to clone voices, to create these hyper-realistic scams, they're getting cheaper, faster, and just frighteningly good. This is a massive shift, and it's changing the entire cybersecurity game.
All right, so when we look ahead to 2026, the new battleground for cybersecurity really revolves around these three themes. It's a world built on AI-powered deception, the constant battle for digital identity, and all of it is supercharged by the incredible scale of automation. See, the whole strategy has flipped. It used to be about getting a virus onto a machine. Not anymore. Now, attackers are trying to exploit the one thing you rely on every single day: trust. They're trying to impersonate your people and manipulate your processes by attacking the faith you have in your own colleagues and your own systems.
So, to make this real, we're going to focus on the three highest impact threats. Honestly, just understanding these three is the most important first step to building a defense that's actually going to work for the challenges that are right around the corner.
Okay, threat number one is basically an old classic on steroids. We're talking about social engineering, but now it's supercharged with generative AI. This takes phishing and voice scams from something criminals had to do one by one to a fully automated, highly personalized, and massively scalable criminal enterprise. This right here is what makes that CEO voice clone we talked about a reality.
And this is the playbook. It's shockingly simple. Step 1, the AI grabs a voice sample, maybe from a public earnings call or an all-hands video message, and clones it. Step 2, that fake, urgent call is made to the finance team, creating a ton of pressure. And step 3, before anyone even has a chance to second-guess it, the transfer is done. The money's gone. It is fast, simple, and absolutely devastating.
So how in the world do you fight something like this? Well, here's the bottom line. You can't trust your ears anymore, so you have to trust your process. This means you hard-code verification steps, like a mandatory callback to a number you already have on file. It means you use authentication that's resistant to phishing. You have to train your team on these new tricks, and for anything really high risk, you require approval on a completely different channel, like an internal ticketing system, no exceptions.
Now, let's get to our second huge threat, and this quote really nails it. Think about it. Why bother trying to kick down the front door with malware if you can just find an unlocked window, or even better, just steal the key? That's what's happening. The new front door for hackers isn't your software, it's your digital identity.
Now, what's really fascinating here is this comparison. On the left, you've got the identities you know well, your employees, their passwords, that kind of thing. But look at the right. There's this massive, and I mean massive, growing universe of non-human identities. The best way to think of these as your robot employees. All the APIs, the applications, the scripts that have keys and permissions to get into your systems and access your data. And that universe of robots is exploding.
So protecting all this stuff requires what we call a zero-trust mindset. It's simple. Never trust, always verify. Every single request, every single time. It means you absolutely have to know what all your robot employees are up to. You have to lock down your most powerful admin accounts with extra controls. And you have to be super strict about what third-party apps are allowed to access.
And of course, we have to talk about ransomware. It's not new, but man, it is still an incredibly profitable business for criminals. And the tactics are evolving. See, now it's not just about locking your files anymore. The new move is to steal your data first and then threaten to leak it publicly. Sometimes they'll even contact your customers directly just to ratchet up the pressure. Okay, so for ransomware, resilience is everything. And that starts with your backups. They need to be immutable, which just means the attacker can't mess with them or delete them. But here is the most important part. You must test that you can actually restore your business from them. A backup you've never tested isn't a backup, it's just a prayer. You combine that with aggressive patching and network segmentation, which is kind of like having fire doors on a ship to contain a fire to one area, and now you have a really solid defense. And hey, there are other risks bubbling up too. We won't go deep here, but just keep these on your radar. We're talking attacks coming through your software vendors, simple misconfigurations in the cloud that leave you wide open, attacks on your network gear, and of course, the growing risks from all the connected devices in places like factories and facilities. Okay, enough of the doom and gloom. We've seen the threats. Now for the most important part, the action plan. We have boiled everything down into a high-impact starter pack to get you ready for 2026.
We're focusing on just 10 actions. And these aren't vague ideas. These are concrete steps that are going to give you the absolute biggest security bang for your buck, for your time, and your resources.
All right, this slide right here, this is your playbook. Let's walk through it. Numbers 1 and 2, these are all about fighting that identity theft we talked about, phishing-resistant MFA, and locking down your admin accounts. This stops attackers from just waltzing in with stolen keys. Then you've got 3 and 4, which is your ransomware resilience foundation, those immutable backups that you actually test, and patching your internet-facing systems. That closes the easiest doors for the bad guys. 5 and 6, that's your defense against those AI-powered deception tactics. Email authentication stops impersonation, and centralized logging means you can actually see an attack happening. 7 and 8 are all about containment and practice. Network segmentation limits the blast radius of an attack, and running drills builds the muscle memory your team needs in a crisis. And finally, 9 and 10, these tackle that expanding ecosystem, managing who your vendors can access and getting a handle on all of those non-human robot identities. Seriously, take a good look at this list. This is your high-impact starter pack.
So, putting all these things in place is one thing, but how do you know if any of it is actually working? Well, you have to measure what matters.
Don't get caught up in vanity metrics like number of attacks blocked. You need to track your speed and your effectiveness. How fast can you cut off a compromised account? How quickly are those critical patches being applied? What's your actual real-world success rate for restoring from your backups? These are the numbers that tell you if you're truly ready or not. So, there you have it. That's your 2026 cybersecurity outlook. The threats, from AI-cloned voices to the theft of human and non-human identities, they are evolving incredibly fast. But as we've seen, the defenses are clear and they are actionable. The playbook is right here. So the only question left is, what's your first move?